Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to our channel. We are Jess and Galia. Today, we are going to talk about how to start healing your psyche. But before we get started, what is the psyche? Well, the psyche is the recollection of our soul imprints that we carry throughout lifetimes. It is the moods that we carry through, and these imprints is what makes our individual soul. So whatever thoughts you fed, whatever attitudes, whatever patterns, this is what you carry on through your next lifetime. And we inherit this through our DNA, which carries the information. And this is why if we have held on and have been attached to certain mind states, belief systems, fears, traumas of the past, then in this lifetime, we can see it manifest through an unbalanced psyche.
Thank you for this introduction. And like you said, the psyche becomes unbalanced because of unresolved traumas. And this is really deep because the psyche can get to this space of creating archetypal defenses to protect itself from the pain, from the suffering, the impact of the trauma. So we need to understand as well that the psyche that is sick can actually create some forces that are going to be self-destructive. So this is a self-attack. The psyche is attacking its own self. And because the psyche is creating forms to manifest into this physical world, because the psyche, it's an entity that is half physical and half spiritual. So this is this transitional state between the physical and the spiritual. The psyche is ruled by spirit, right? So as the psyche is ruled by spirit, it can affect the field. So that's why it's really important to take this power back and understand how our psyche works. And you want to talk about how this unbalance can manifest. Maybe, we've been also talking about this a lot, about the psychic attacks. Mm-hmm. And how do psychic attacks manifest? And how these psychic attacks are a creation, right? It was self-created, right? These psychic attacks are self-created by the psyche.
Yes, I feel like it's really important actually to talk about psychic attacks because you see, here's a funny thing, that psychic attacks are actually a personal attack on the self. When we have such distortions, mental distortions, and we are not able to discern truth from lies, this is what makes us susceptible to go under psychic attacks, especially for intuitives. When there's a lot of internal wars and internal conflict that is echoing through from past lifetimes, in this lifetime, those themes show up in our life. And this can show up through someone possibly feeling like they have entities, like dark entities, trying to kill them in their dreams or through everyday life. Maybe they have a lot of paranoia. And what that is actually their own psyche, their own shadow manifesting through distortions in the field, because their own inner world is projecting the outer world, which is creating now a distortion in their holographic field because it's coming from within. So the attack is internal, but the person with distortion cannot see it. They're thinking it's happening to them from something external. And this can be also in many other ways. It could be, for instance, certain people manifesting in our lives, and maybe they carry very strong shadows. And these shadows are exactly what is within you. So then these people and their energetic field resonate with what is within you that is distorted. And then you can absorb that, and it's activated within, which then there is an attachment, which again then leads to distortion. And then the person sees it as that individual is trying to do black magic on me because they resonate with that distortion itself. So you see, psychic attacks can only happen if we have a distortion in our own field. Then we give that life because we are resonating. It is still within us, and it needs to become visible to us so it manifests through the external. So then we can be activated to begin to awaken and understand how that is a personal projection.
The way this psychic attack can manifest as well is through this internalization of the aggression of the aggressor. That means that now the psyche is channeling the violence of the aggressor. That's why the psyche is turning against itself. That's why there is this self-attack. That's why now we need to connect with the psyche, and we need to start working with the psyche. And the way we can start doing this work is by facing the illusion of the psyche, going to the roots of this illusion. And how do we go to the roots of this illusion? Well, to go to the roots of this illusion, we need to explore the dysfunctional patterns, the patterns that have pre-existed even before our birth, that has been manifesting this sickness of the psyche in our lineage, in the lineages that we are coming from. And this is where we can start healing the psyche, by stepping out and confronting the illusion and going beyond limiting beliefs, beyond these beliefs that have enslaved our families, our genetic coding. And maybe you want to share also another tip to start working with the psyche and start understanding the psyche and how the psyche works.
Thank you for that explanation. I loved it. And to add to it, for us to go through a true alchemical process, we must undergo an internal psychological process. Because in order for us to heal a sickness that is coming from the soul, we must understand these patterns, these psychological patterns that are producing this toxic emotion and creating toxic situations or suffering in our life. So this comes from starting this process of internal analysis, diving deeper into understanding, first of all, what are our toxic patterns, because we need first awareness. We need to be aware when we are acting toxic, when we are unbalanced, or when we are demonstrating traits that are lower nature, that are coming from fear. Because if we do not become aware of what we are doing or what emotions, what energy we are carrying and feeding, then we cannot heal. We cannot transform on a soul level. We will continue to remain the same, and we will continue to reproduce the exact same patterns. So by us first becoming aware of what is it that we are doing that is producing suffering in our life. Taking that time to reflect, taking the time to become more self-aware of our own thoughts, our emotions, what triggers us, and understanding these triggers on a deep level, taking time to analyze our actions, how we react, or do we respond? So this is what is necessary for us to truly begin to heal on a soul level, healing our psyche, and being able to actually undergo this deep transformation that requires psychological deaths. Because that is a true shift. One must die psychologically, which means this old way of being, this old way of reacting, this old way of moving through life needs to die for us to be reborn by changing our ways, by changing the way we see the world. Because you see, whatever we are producing on the outside, what we are experiencing on the external world is a representation of the inner world. So if we are living in chaos, we are creating fights in our life, we are creating more hardship in our life, this is coming because our psyche has been out of balance. Our energy centers are out of balance, which creates a distortion in our field. But by us addressing that distortion and working through it, this is how we can truly create transformative shifts on a soul level.
Yes, and what can help to tap into the field is to first question the body. Where do we feel the pain in the body? Where is it located? Because it might be this trauma stuck in the body, somewhere in the body, that we need to analyze as well. Because this is the response as well. The suffering is the response as well. Because as we connect with the suffering of the body, for instance, and then as we experience the suffering of the body, now we can tap into as well the density that we can feel in the field as well, right? In our etheric body now. So it's really important to go through this check to understand your psyche and start healing your psyche by questioning the pain and no longer resisting the pain, but understanding it as a part of yourself and as this ongoing process, and just as this self that is unfolding, that is actually understanding what has been keeping us trapped for lifetimes. I hope this video was able to trigger something in you and that you were able to resonate with our words. We really appreciate you. We are growing this channel. We appreciate the support. We appreciate your comments. Please, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, subscribe to our channel. And thank you so much, and we will see you in the next episode.